Hey guys, let's talk about heating systems. Now here are two plug-in electric heaters, totally different. This is a Vornado heater by Vornado. This is turning it off. Takes eight seconds. It has a fan. It blows, so it pushes the air, as opposed to this one. All right, so now it's completely off. You can hear the silence. This is also silent. This was plugged in. This is completely silent. I have another one over here, look. So here's the one over here. This is a brand new one. It's newer because it has this light, which the other ones are round. And they used to be $49.99. Now they're $89.99. It is all the way up to the top level. So it gets hot. Now even this gets hot. I think on the other one, this face piece stays a little cooler. This gets very hot. It's quiet, which is what I like about it. It just emanates heat. So my idea was to have a section of this made pretty and then put along the bottom of the wall, sort of gently pushing the heat out, but not noisy. I like that there's no noise. Unlike this one. Now this one I put on my counter. These are nice and small, very portable. This one broke, but it still works. I thought it didn't work, but it still does work. So the house has been around 58 degrees, and I'm wearing a coat and a robe and a hat, so it doesn't feel cold to me. But see, I like that this is on the counter, and it's a really, really cold night, and I can put my hands right in front of it, kind of like how with a wood stove. And the wind is blowing, but it is noisy. Listen. Not as noisy as some, but now some people it's almost like a white noise, a white sound, that white noise. So it's not too bad, but I prefer not having any sound at all, like this one. Now you plug it in, when you turn it down, it does use less BTUs, and your meter does slow down. When it's all the way up to high, which the night requires if you're going to be awake, I could have most of this turned off and just be huddling under the covers, but I'm sort of testing these different heaters. Now I used to have forced hot air, which I covered up with duct tape, because cold air was coming up through the basement, which is now heated with a heat lamp. And I'll show you my other thing. So here is another two things. This is my crazy contraption, which is a heat lamp inside. And I don't want to blind you, but the red heat lamp. And then I just put it up on that thing, and then I put this on top of it. And the concept is it gets hot and slowly and quietly puts heat, into the air. Now, when you take the top off, way more heat comes off that heat lamp. And it does put out heat, and it's not bad for a small room, or if you're heating a brick hearth around it, which is what I'm doing at the other place. These tops are off, and I have them nestled into a fireplace. This is an electric fireplace, very expensive to run. This is much cheaper. It's a 250 watt bulb, so it does use more than a regular bulb, but it's worth the heat. This is extremely expensive to run, but listen. Oh, it's on, right? Look. So here, let me turn it off. Boom. Off. It's a cute little, tiny little electric fireplace that puts out the little flame and heat. Now this one actually works the best on heating the room comfortably. And all it takes is you switch that, and then it doesn't have a thermostat. And it's hard for me to read that, actually. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can read it. Oops. Power. Heater power. Heater 1, heater 2. Oh, I have them both on. Let's just see what happens when I push. No, there's just one heater on. Heater 2. No. Still, no, there's no heat. It's colder air is coming through. Okay, so we push heater 1. Now it's back on. All right, well, let's see. Maybe heater 1 uses less heat, but when it's at 2, it really puts out enough heat, and this whole area is getting warm. You know, it blows it out, so it crosses the room, goes into other rooms. It's pretty. I like the fake flame. They make them even better now. I love the ambiance of the faux flame, right? Let me just turn off this light. And I actually love the ambiance of the red light when it's placed properly and it doesn't blind your eyes. It can be, I love the way the red light, it gives off a nice warm red light, almost like red light therapy maybe. So these are my 1, 2, 3, this is the same style as the other one. Then you've got 4, 5. Now this stays warm for quite a while. And, you know, you could have wall tiles made of the same thing here, and you could make them pretty. And these are very thin. And instead of having this one little chunk, you could have these separated and put them around the bottom of the wall. I have a bunch of stuff. I don't want to. This is another heater. This is a fake wood stove, and you plug it in, and the doors open, and it has a nice light in there, and it blows out heat. And it's wonderful if it weren't so expensive. I have every heating thing that's electric, and then I've had oil, propane, not natural gas, because we don't have that in Maine except for Bangor, which I wish we had natural gas, and it's so much better, cheaper and more efficient. So this is very expensive to run. This isn't cheap either. These are pretty efficient though, and they do work. This one's nice and quiet, which I love. That's the best thing about it. But I don't like it. It sort of sticks out, and you have to find a place for it. You can't hide it. Now, I would rather have. I actually like forced hot air if it's done properly. If it's a mess, I don't like it. I used to hate forced hot air. I mean, I lived with it one year when I was in college in this little cottage by the beach, and I loved that little cottage. But the forced hot air was awful. There was this one big grate in the middle of the living room, and you were freezing everywhere else. You had to sit on that grate, which, you know, and I didn't think it was healthy. This house was done really well, but I needed a new chimney liner, and I still can't find the right chimney liner. So then I decided to get away from the chimney and and then I got into these plug-in heaters, which actually work great. They've gotten me through several years now. And I was even heating the studio with 2 of those. They worked perfectly. The only time it was hard was in the winter, the dead of winter. The shower drain would freeze. But 2 of those sitting on the hearth, and the red bricks I think would get warm too of the hearth, and they just worked fine the whole year. So my idea was to take something either like this or ceramic heated with copper, because I'm trying to figure out, and make a ceramic tile that goes above the baseboard that's heated with copper wires that go throughout, and you can make it pretty so it matches your house, and it's like a wall tile, a heated wall tile. They have wall heaters, but I was trying to figure out a way to do it so it's not so expensive. So I wanted to use either heat lamp technology, like how you heat a room with a hot lamp, or ceramic tiles that get warm with heated copper wire going throughout, and somehow you heat that copper wire. Even if you have to have it plugged in, it's going to be cheaper than running one of these if you put it all around the bottom of the house, of the room, and then it pushes the heat in. So anyway, I don't know. It probably doesn't produce enough BTUs. It's probably crazy. But And it's completely new. They don't have heated wall tiles. They have heaters that you can put on the wall, but they're very expensive to run. So how do you solve that problem? If they're electric, what I like is there's no fumes. I'm not burning fossil fuels. I wouldn't mind if it was natural gas because it's cleaner and it's cheaper and it makes more sense. But this way we did oil and propane, it's very messy. You need a chimney. You need to vent it. It can blow up. And this can also cause a fire. But the odds of gas blowing up, I don't know. These work great, I have to say. Listen to this. No sound. This is the beauty of it. But if I like the fact that, to get up the stairs here, I really want, I turned this off. See, it's always 59. I can't get it higher than, now then it's set at 60. I'll set it at, well, actually you kind of want to set it high because you want it to blow across the room. So these are my choices right now. The Vernado and the oil-based radiator the electric, it's oil-based. There's a little bit of oil in there. Oil holds the heat. Copper holds the heat. Stainless steel holds the heat. So terracotta, clay holds the heat. There's flax seeds hold the heat. There's many things that hold the heat. But you need a heat source. So, can we do solar power that these can be supported by? All right, give me your opinions if you guys have any thoughts. Love you. Thanks for watching. Let's solve these heating issues because it's a big deal. I have other heating ideas too. Big kiss.